Aloha fellow collectors and welcome to Long's Toys. Today we are taking a look at the last set of the first wave of the Return of Ultra Egg. Now to be fair, I don't know if there's going to be a second wave. These 15 all came out at the same time. I don't know if they're going to be doing any more, so maybe this is also the end of Ultra Egg. We'll have to wait and see how that goes. But we have two more Ultramen here. We have Ultraman Taiga and Ultraman Trigger multi-type, and then we have apparently some reissues. They did a bunch of Kaiju at the end, and I guess they're just reissues of one they did earlier. You can see that there's a gap here between 11 and 13. Number 12 was Bolton, and when I was looking at the pictures, it looked exactly the same as the one that I remember having. That's why I didn't pick it up. I don't remember if I ever got these three, so I went ahead and grabbed them. Maybe I have duplicates somewhere, I don't know. But we have Gomora, Red King, and King Joe. So I'm excited to take a look at these. These two should be pretty much identical. They basically made, you know, one kind of new body type for all the Ultramen, and they just have their different heads and paint schemes. But we'll take a look at these two. Yeah, transformation should be exactly the same for these two. I'm not exactly sure how these will go. I don't think they have super detailed directions, but we'll figure it out. So I'm going to go ahead and get these 5 out of the packaging here, and we'll take a closer look. Alright, so here are the 5 Ultra Eggs out of the packaging. We'll start over here with the Ultramen, since we've seen this transformation a few times here. So here is Taiga. We are going to go ahead and grab this at this hinge, and this will come around here and peg in. Then we're going to drop the legs down and flip down the feet. Then you can separate the legs. Then you're going to just bend the arms at the elbows while you kind of pull them away from the body. And then we are going to open up this panel here and flip the head around and then close it back up. And there we go. We have Ultraman Taiga. He looks pretty good. I think they did a nice job. Head sculpt, very nice. Nice silver paint there. A little bit of gold for the eyes. You do have kind of a swivel and slight hinge here, although the eggshell piece kind of hits into the shoulder, which is a bummer. You have kind of a, not really 180, but you have a bend here in the elbow, mostly for transformation. Nothing in the waist. You do have kind of a ball joint here. You can mostly just kick forward, a little bit out to the side. Can't really kick back at all because of this piece here. And then you have a knee bend, and then you have a little bit of foot articulation there. So, pretty cool. This is the mold that we've seen for all the Ultramen so far. Oh, the head can also swivel from side to side. I forgot to mention that. Some nice paint applications here on the chest. A little bit down here on the shins and the feet. And then, of course, you have the emblem there for the egg mode. So it's a cool mold. I think they did a pretty good job with these. We'll put him off to the side. Sometimes they have trouble standing, which is kind of a bummer. The hips are kind of loose. They have been on most of mine. Every once in a while you get one that's not too bad, but for the most part the hips are fairly loose. So we'll go ahead, we'll transform Trigger multi-type exactly the same way. So we'll just peg that in, split the legs, flip the legs around from the back, and then pop these away from the body. There's these little tabs right here, and that's how they peg in for the egg mode. So flip the arms down, flip this panel, flip the head out, and there we go. We have Trigger multi-type. I really don't remember him being this purple, but it's been a minute. Head sculpt looks pretty good. Nice gold paint there on the side, along with the silver and the blue. Nice paint here on the chest, on the thighs. Nothing down here on the shins or feet. And again, it's the same mold, so same articulation as Taiga. And we'll see if we can get the two of them to stand. So, now we get into the Kaiju, and I definitely feel like some of these, well, let's put it this way, they're all reissues. Some of these I've had before. Red King seems very familiar. Or is it Eleking? I keep calling it Red King. It is Eleking, so I apologize for that. Eleking I've definitely had before. I also think it's funny that these 3 are about the same size. These eggs were just ever so slightly smaller. It is what it is. But anyway, so this is Eleking, and I definitely remember this one. The legs flip around from the side. These hands just kind of pop out a little bit. They don't do a whole heck of a lot. And then you come over here and the tail will flip down, and then this tail piece can flip out like so, and then this flips around, and then you just flip the head 90 degrees. So this one's definitely a reissue because I remember this one. I'm pretty sure I do have this one. It's got some nice paint applications though, and I like how they painted the leg even though it's on the inside of the egg, so that way it's there in Monster Kaiju mode. I like that. Head is painted pretty decently. The horns up here are kind of a nice black and silver. And then he's got like a zipper mouth. It just kind of looks like a zipper to me. So he's okay. Unfortunately, his legs kind of bow out to the side because the hinges aren't super tight. So when you go to have him stand, he just kind of like, his legs kind of naturally pop out. But it works. He's got the tail to balance him. Next up, we have Gomora. Gomora. I keep calling her Gomora because it's from Guardians. Gomora, I don't remember as much, so maybe I didn't have this one. But kind of a similar transformation. The tail's going to flip down like so, and that will give you room to flip the head out. And then you have to flip out the little ears, which is pretty fun. And then we're going to flip out the legs in a very similar fashion to Eleking. And then flip out the hands. So like I said, I don't remember this one as much, but I think they did a great job. The head sculpt looks great. Nice paint on the ears. The eyes look good. The horns and everything. A little bit of texture here. You know, it leaves a lot of hollow open spaces, but I still think he's pretty fun. And he stands pretty well on his own. Now, the other thing you can see here is with the new mold for the Ultraman, they're much taller. So with the Kaiju here, you know, there's like at least a solid inch difference, maybe more. It is what it is. King Joe, I definitely did not have before. And this one is wild. You don't actually transform it. You like take it apart into components, which is weird. So this little like helmet piece here, that just pops off like that. This midsection here, you can kind of see that there's a little pin, and you want to kind of lift it off of that pin. And you have to do that on the front and the back, which can be a little challenging. But once you do that, this section comes off. And then this section comes off, and then you have this section. So you just have these 4 pieces. And there are no directions to tell you how to figure this out. So I just had to figure it out. But the feet are in the inside here, and they are going to flip down, which can be a little difficult to get your fingers in there to do this, but it is possible. So once you flip the feet out there, you kind of have like the waist and the feet. Then you have to take this piece and clip it on. So you can kind of see that there are clips inside there, and that has to clip on to this little section right here. So this has to come down and clip on like that. Okay, that kind of gives him his like lower abdomen section. And then you're going to take this section and push this down. There are these 4 pieces right here, which will clip into these 4 spots right here. So this just kind of pops on like this. So you can see the bodies coming along here. And then this section, you want to kind of lift the hands up. And then they will kind of come down. And then you can fold the hands out. And then this just drops in here like this. And then you kind of just, the shoulder pieces naturally kind of fit into these grooves. So that's King Joe. That's wild. I just can't get over how you have to like build each mode. Like there's just these 4 components. It has some nice hollow foil stickers here on the front, a little bit of silver paint here on the face. That's really about it. I didn't really talk about articulation for the Kaiju. There's not much, honestly. He's kind of got like a little bit of a hinge here in this section for the shoulder, and then kind of a swivel here at the arm. I guess you can technically move the hands around. It's really just transformation points. Yeah, there's nothing else really here in the body. And then for Eleking, I guess technically you could move the arms in and out. You could move the legs. You could move the tail up and down. Again, it's really just transformation points. These things aren't really meant to have articulation in the same way. I mean, to be fair, most of them on the Ultraman are transformation points as well, but I feel like they're strategic transformation points to make sure that they have articulation, whereas these don't really have, you know, he would never like kick his leg up like that. I mean, I guess he could, but he's probably not going to. But yeah, so that's where we are with these. The Kaiju are definitely just reissues, whereas these are new, and you can definitely tell. You can see the size difference between the Kaiju and the Ultramen. So the grand return of Ultra Egg was just one new mold with different heads and different paint schemes, and then they reissued some Kaiju because they didn't want to remake those. So it is what it is. It's the egg thing is a fun line. It's a fun little gimmick. They make fun little, desk toys, in my opinion. Do you need all of them? Probably not. I think I've said this in most of the reviews I've done. Pick your favorite, one or two Ultraman, get them, and then, like I said, just kind of keep it as a desk toy. If you want to collect them all, by all means, enjoy. I don't really think you need to. And also, just because I have them handy, here is Ultraman, the Ultra action figure of Ultraman, just to give you a size comparison for all of these, as camera went cockeyed there for a second. But yeah, there we go. So they're not really the same size. I think the Kaiju scale even worse, but the Ultramen are a little bit more passable. They're probably about a half an inch difference, whereas these guys are probably like almost 2 full inches shorter than the Ultra action figures. But they're starting to do the Kaiju in the Ultra action figure line now, which is a lot of fun. I know they did Gomora, I think, just came out. I think they did do a King Joe as well, which is really cool. I don't know if they've done Red King. Darn it, I keep calling him Red King. It's Eleking. Red King looks very different. Honestly, he kind of looks like these two fused together, if I had to be honest with you. That's kind of what Red King looks like. But in any case, they're neat. Do you need all of them? Probably not. But if you want to collect them all, by all means. The nice thing is they're not super expensive. I think they're around 10, 15. I don't think they're as much as 15. Maybe 10, 11, $12 a piece, something like that. So, like I said, pick your favorite. Have a fun desk toy. Otherwise, it's really just the same toy 10 times with different heads. They didn't really do much different. And I get it. It's an easy way for them to churn it out. I'm not condemning it. I'm just saying, after you've transformed 9, 10 Ultramen, it gets a little boring. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Please like, share, and subscribe. Who is your favorite Ultraman? Are you collecting these? Are you going all in? Are you just getting your favorite? Are you bothering with the Kaiju? Do you have them from the first time? Do you not need the reissues? I definitely did not have King Joe because his transformation was so weird to me and so wild. I definitely do not remember that. I don't think I had Gomora either. I definitely think I had Eleking. But like I said, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Are you collecting these? Do you have a bunch already? Let me know. Please like, share, and subscribe. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully it was informative. And if you had any doubts about these being reissues, those doubts are squashed. So, again, thank you so much for watching. Have a good one.